In this video, we will be making section views for our roadways. This is from deliverable 4, and there's a tool within Civil 3D that will basically do this for us as long as we specify some parameters. So go to whatever your last deliverable 4 file is and make a copy of it, and we'll obviously rename this to a deliverable 7 file. I'll do like section cuts, for example, or section views. And this is going to seem maybe like a little bit of a strange process, but just bear with me and follow the same steps that I do, and yours should come out similarly. So I'm in my model space, and this one's going to chug a little bit just because of all the assemblies and roadways that are being rendered. So I apologize if this becomes stuttery at any point during the video. And what we want to do is make representative section views along all of our roadways that pretty much show what elevations, what cross sections we're looking at every, 20 feet, 50 feet, something like that, right? So we are going to use a tool called sample lines here in the profile and section views on the home tab to basically tell the program this is where we want a section view to generate. So if I click on it, it will ask to select an alignment or press enter from the list. So we will start with Alderman Road, but we will also do this for McCormick and Treehouse Drive as well. So I'm just going to hit enter to be able to select my alignments. Make sure you're selecting the one that you actually made, not all of the generated ones. If you, for example, made an intersection, and by the way, if you didn't do the intersections, that's okay. This process should be pretty similar. You might have some section views over places where the intersection should be that end up being blank because you have no roadway there. If that's the case, that's totally fine. The graders will see what you have, and we understand, where you might have been in the process. Totally okay. Just go ahead and make your section views all down your alignments. So I'll start with Alderman Road, click OK, and you can see this tool pop up. So it's asking to name the sample line group, so I'll call this Alderman Road sample lines. And under the sample line label style, I will change it to name and section marks. So right here, section name and marks. We can keep this as road sample line. And now it's asking what data we want. So here we want our existing surface, our finished surface, and our corridor. So I will expand this tab a little bit. Our O Hill surrounding area is our existing surface. So I will make sure this is in existing ground. I have it called as master surface, but whatever you have it called as, this is what should be your finished surface. So that might be EG and FG, composite surface, whatever that may be. And for our road corridor, we want the style to be all codes. The road corridor surface itself, remember that's the surface we pretty much made from the corridor. We don't need sample lines on that. The corridor and all of our finished grade surface here will pretty much take care of that. So uncheck sample lines from that. And now we can click OK. Now on this toolbar, we can generate our actual sample lines. So we are going to click on the sample line creation button here, and we want to create sample line group and on Alderman Road. And when we click on that, sorry, that's the same screen we were just at. So here we can actually now, generate the sample lines themselves under creation methods. And under creation methods, we are going to use by range of stations. This is a way we can just make it all at once instead of doing at a station and making one at a time. We'll do a range. And we're going to go from start to finish. So the station range is just going to be whatever the automatic bounds are. These should be correct, but you can check them if you want in your design. For the width, we are going to all put in 100 feet on each side. So you can do more than 100 if you want, but the minimum is 100. So this is telling you from the alignment itself how far left and how far right should that section view extend. So we'll do 100 there and 100 here. Under sampling increments, you have a little bit of play for what you want to do here. You need to put in some number, but it's kind of up to you. I think these numbers work pretty well, but I would change along curves to 25. Curves you want greater resolution on pretty much, right? So I want it to make a section more often on a curve. And now we can just click OK, and you can see it auto-generates a bunch of sample lines for us here. And if you want to add or remove any of the lines yourself, you can. So for example, I can just close out of this wizard and select a line and delete it if I wanted to. Just going to save here. And now we're going to do some styling changes to get the section views to look the way we want them to before we actually make them. So in our tool space, I will go to settings and then section view. So I'll go to the settings tab right here in my tool space, settings, go to section view and expand that. From here, we are going to go to group plot styles and expand that and go to the basic one. This is the one that we assigned our sample lines to and our section views to. And we are just going to right click this to edit it. And in the edit, in the display tab, we will change the print area right here, that color just to be red. And that is the only thing you have to do here. Just change that color. I think the red is way easier to see than the blue, so we'll do that. Now we can actually go back to our home tab on the top and go to section views. And here we can select create multiple views. It's asking you to select an alignment and a sample group, so be sure to select the right ones for there. It's asking for the station range, just keep it as automatic or make sure it's your full bounds. And it's asking you to name your section views, so you can give them a name. Parliament Road section views. And it's asking for the section view style, so just keep that as a road section since that is what we're making. Now we'll just go through these tabs quickly. The section placement, it's asking where you want to put this. So here you can either keep it as production, use a layout from a template file to place sections on sheets. I think this is a little bit confusing, and you can also just use draft if you want to. You can see a preview here of what that does. The production one basically means it'll make them frame a sheet pretty well, so we can just do that, and that way you don't even have to work very hard to make these. And you can keep the group plot style as basic as well. For the offset range, it should be pretty automatic. You just need a number to be greater than 50 feet. And so this is 100, that's what we made for the sample line, so that's totally fine. The elevation range, I would not use the automatic one. I think it can lead to some not great results where some of your sections have a bunch of extra space on the top and bottom of them, and others are like pretty much crumpled down to like 10 feet. So I think it's better to do the user specified one and put in 60. All of this is sort of up to you. I mean, you just need to get your sections to print and you need them to be like visible and look good. But I'm going to do 60 and I'm going to use follow a section and I'm going to select the finished grade or the combined surface. For me, that's that master surface there. For section display options, I'm just going to make sure all of the label sets are off. It can get really crowded if you have these on, so I think it's better to have it be clean and just keep them off. And here we can also just double check that we have the styling correct. So our existing ground is my existing surface, the finished ground is my master surface, and I have all codes displaying for the roadway. Data bands, again, up to you if you want that extra information to actually appear on your section views. You can keep it, you can see what those look like here, or you can get rid of them. Again, up to you. Anyways, we'll create our section views now, and it's asking you to put them in your model space. So these can get pretty big, so I would go a little bit away from your work right now and just plop them down somewhere. And you can see it makes sheets for us already with the borders, which is great. And it has all of our sections here. So as you go along, you can see the different sections. You can zoom in. So this is where our retaining wall is, for example. You can see the elevations. So that all looks good to me. I might try to reset the scale here a little bit and see if that changes the view at all. That didn't make it any better. Okay, so I'll just keep it at 1:40. And that is all of our section views for Alderman Road. So from here, all I would have to do is create a sheet for all of these. So to do that now, do from template, go to sheet sets, and do my civil imperial. And rename this to, for example, Alderman in section 1. There might be a couple of these, and here I can use the insert view. And things are going to look really wonky because of the way that it scales things. But I can just do my best to sort of capture a view. Once that view is captured, I can click into the model space itself. And inside of the model space, I can actually change my, inside of my model space, I can actually change my scaling by unlocking this. I should have made this box a little bit bigger. That is on me. Actually popped this out, which is annoying. I've actually never done that before. There we go. So yeah, you can make all your views here. You can see I can get them lining up pretty well. I'll just use the regenerate command to make those appear again. And yeah, your framing here doesn't have to be perfect. I understand that making the plan sheets is tedious and not the most fun process. Make sure your sections are visible. Make sure they're legible in terms of scale. And as long as those things are true, you know, if your extra borders are here or whatever, that's totally okay. If you want to delete things, you're welcome to delete things. Just get them down. Don't spend too much time trying to make it look amazing. Just make it readable. And add this to your sheet set. Give it a name and a number. We'll go over that in the next video a little bit as well. And do this for all of your section views. Now, that was for Alderman Road, so you just need to repeat the process for McCormick Road and Treehouse Drive. They're both shorter roads, so there should be less sections for them. And if you remember how I changed my spacing interval to be 25 feet along curves, if you keep that as 50, you'll also have less of these. So that's up to you. But you need to submit your section sheets with your full plan set as part of deliverable 7. The last thing I wanted to show you guys is just a tool in Civil 3D before you make your section sheets that can be pretty good for roadway visualization. If I click on my corridor, I can open something called Section Editor here. And Section Editor is really cool because it will automatically change your Civil 3D viewport to look like it does for me here. So here you can see a plan view of your alignment. You can see the profile view of your alignment. You can see a section cut of your corridor, and you can see the actual assembly being used. One of the cool things is that you can then step down your road. So it's almost like I'm driving down the road, and you can see how everything is updating. If I click into this view here and I zoom in a little bit, you might even be able to see where I am. There should be little markers here. It's just really hard to tell because of how zoomed in everything is. Yeah, so you can see where this line is. That's where it is right now. And as I advance this, you can see it moving forward. So I can take big leaps or small leaps, which is really cool. Like, for example, I can go to the next region and I can go back a few. So here you can see where I am. One of the kind of annoying things is you have to click through all the viewports to move where you are. So you can see that I'm right here. It's a little bit difficult to see, but I have it highlighted here. And now I can go through the intersection and you'll see that update here. So this is a really good exploration tool as you're, trying to make your roadways, check to see if everything is the way you want them to be. And now you can see I made it to where my retaining wall is. So this is what the section cut would look like there. And I can go to the ones we made and it's going to look similar, just with different styling. And so, yeah, I just wanted to show you that as a tool that you have at your disposal. Really easy to use. You just have to click one button, and whenever you want to be done, you just click close, and it resets your view back to the way you had it. So yeah, this is the majority of deliverable 7 on the Civil 3D portion. Make your section views for all 3 roads. Make your sheets. In the next video, we'll talk a little bit about the plan set.